So let's settle into our practice together. Mm. Yeah, so let's explore together the sense of moving with our experience. Yeah. So what comes into our life, the experiences, the situations, are mostly beyond our control. And so our experience, or how we feel and process those experiences, those situations, can vary depending on our already stress levels, for example, as well. And I suppose it's seeing how we can manage to feel and think according to the situation. So if it's an anxiety about working something out, in some ways it's okay to feel those things. Yeah, it's okay to feel frightened, it's okay to feel confused. If there's a health scare or health anxiety, again, we can have this sense of, it's okay to feel frightened if the body gets ill, when the body gets ill. And it's natural to play out different scenarios. What if this happens? What if that happens? And we can use our mindfulness to observe the process. And it's the mindfulness in a way that helps us to then navigate and manage any overwhelm by this simple noting this of the process. And even if we reach overwhelm, there can be a sense of knowing that this will pass. And this can also support us wherever we are. That whatever we're feeling, whatever we're thinking, whatever we're experiencing, we'll move on, we'll move through, and then there'll be something else, a resting space, a pause, an activity, another experience. So, feeling free to take up a posture that will support your body, that will support your practice. And feeling free to close the eyes or hold a soft gaze. And taking a moment to feel your body here. Feeling the weight of your body. And often just feeling into the body, feeling the weight of the body resting here in the chair or on the bed, on the ground. Can help us feel something firm, something solid, a a sense of matter. And feeling into the sensations in the body can help us have a sense of what's here. So maybe we feel the feet resting on the ground, and we can feel the steadiness of the ground beneath us in this moment. And we can feel the weight of the body through the seat of the pelvis or around this area. And feeling the weight of the body and how it's supported. And we might invite or give the body permission, to rest into this support. Releasing any tightness or tension through the legs or the buttocks. And to support us in that, we might even just take a moment just to spread out the toes, or clenching and releasing, so that when we gently release the toes and the feet once more, we can see how they rest easily and comfortably. And we can do the same with the hands. It's taking a moment to stretch through the fingers and thumbs, stretch out the palms of the hands, and maybe even closing the hand round in a fist, maybe even rotating the hands so you can feel a little stretch through the wrist. And maybe clenching and stretching through the fingers, through the hands, clenching, stretching, and then a gentle sort of shake through, shaking out through the hands, through the fingers and thumbs, and then gently coming into a resting position once more on the lap. Resting the hands and the arms in a way that we're not sort of overstretching in the shoulders. And we can carry a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders. So if it feels right for you, maybe even just bringing in a few shoulder rolls, gentle stretching around the neck, being really aware of any movements you make in the body, noticing this, noticing the sensations. And then when it feels right again, just resting the shoulders, So grounding through the body, stretching and releasing in certain parts of the body, just releasing any tightness. And what we're doing is helping the body just to settle into this moment, using that grounding, stretching and releasing to bring our attention into the present moment, but also just to ease out any tension in the body, particularly, from whatever anxiety or overwhelm or thoughts have enabled that tension to arrive in the body. And quite naturally so, as it activates our nervous system into fight, flight or freeze. But here we can take this opportunity to come into this moment and invite the body to soften and rest here. So the invitation next is to bring in a few deeper breaths. Breathing in deeply and releasing the breath gently and slowly. So breathing fairly evenly, breathing at a pace that feels comfortable. So having a sense that these deeper breaths also will help soothe the nervous system. Also bring in a sense of balance into the body and into the mind. And as we breathe more oxygen into the body, and slowing down the breath helps to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and therefore reducing the amount of cortisol and adrenaline, which are our stress hormones. So the deeper breaths help to bring us back down, reducing any sense of overwhelm. And then whenever you feel ready, gradually starting to release those deeper breaths. Keeping your attention in the body, keeping that attention curious as it starts to watch how the body finds its own natural rhythm once more. And then another soothing factor can be to place a hand or both hands somewhere on the body. We might go to the chest space, the heart space, or maybe at the lower ribs or on the belly. Whatever feels comfortable, Maybe it's a bit more of a shoulder squeeze. Yeah, or placing a hand on the cheek. Or just gently holding your other hand. Whatever feels comfortable here. Resting your hand or hands somewhere on the body. And taking a moment to feel into that connection from the hand. And this is a way of communicating to our brain stem and to our limbic brain, the oldest part of our nervous system, communicating that we're okay. It's okay. So these elements of grounding, deepening the breath, soothing, supportive touch can all be things that we draw on when we're feeling overwhelmed, just to help reduce those levels. We can use all three or one at a time. And then once we've sort of reduced that cortisol in the body and the brain, it can mean we can start to think a little bit more clearly. We reconnect with the prefrontal cortex that helps us make sense of what's happening. And it's here that we can say to ourselves, yeah, it's okay to feel frightened. It's okay to worry. It's a natural response to the news you've received or the situation that you're faced with. And we start to observe our thinking. Another thing we can observe is that our nervous system is functioning okay, setting off that fight, flight, freeze response. It's okay. That's a natural part of being human. And then it's at this point that we have a choice about how do we respond to this difficulty or this challenge that's arisen. Do I set some time aside to consider it? Do I seek support from someone? Do I take up some self-care first? Maybe go for a walk before I address it? Does it need to be addressed now? What do I know? What's uncertain? So perhaps just taking the last few moments of our practice just to rest in this space. A space where we have an awareness of this body, an awareness of this breath. Knowing that this time we take is an act of kindness for ourselves. At any time we can rest our attention in a part of the body or the breath or sounds. And at any time you can come back to your practice, resting in the moment, and have a sense of practicing, managing the waves of experience as they come in. Thoughts, sounds, sensations, feelings. But for now, we'll bring this practice to a close. And knowing you can return to your practice at any time. So together we'll notice the breath for a breath in and a breath out. And we'll bring this practice to a close. And taking your time, just gently shifting from the practice, perhaps bringing in some gentle movement. And opening the eyes when you feel ready, taking in your surroundings. So, thank you for your practice.